It's Wednesday, December 1st, 2021. Let me start out by saying this. What a day. Things are going absolutely bananas. What a way to start out the first day of the month as we head into this holiday season. Again, massive volatility. Things that we're watching certainly are not normal. Earlier today, the Dow Jones was up close to 500, right around 500 points. It finished in the negative, down 460 points. That's a 950 point swing. And I'm looking at CNBC right now. Title of the article, Dow finishes more than 450 points lower in major reversal, triggered by the first health issue case that most of us are now watching on the television. This new health issue that we have. And what is interesting here is we've been dealing with a health crisis now for what, a year and a half, a little bit more. And these markets have gone crazy. Record high after record high after record high during a health crisis. So now why is this one different? Why all of a sudden are they blaming the markets for falling apart again today because of this new crisis that we have? We've been dealing with a major health crisis here for over a year and a half, and the stock market didn't seem to care. Markets across the board have been at all-time highs. Never seen anything like it. I don't think any negative bad news even affects them. I think they just go up. But now all of a sudden, they're going down, and we're blaming another health crisis because of it. Maybe this has to do more with money printing. Maybe it has to do something with 0% interest rates. Maybe it has something to do with 107 million people not in the labor force right now. Maybe it has something to do with people not having money to go out and spend because all the stimmies and all the benefits have dried up. So we can blame a health crisis, or we can blame some other underlying issues that I think are really affecting these markets. And I think it's all the QE, all the helicopter money, the continuation of 0% interest rates, massive manipulation in these markets, the Fed buying bonds and treasuries and mortgage-backed securities, and God knows what in these markets. Again, all this manipulation, all this money printing is going to have major repercussions. And now we're beginning to see them. And as much as they're trying to manipulate markets, they can only do so much. The economy is bigger than the stock market. And when people are not out spending, it is going to have catastrophic effects in these markets. Now, look, they're going to try to buy up a lot of these markets, in my opinion. But we're hearing now from Jerome Powell saying that they're going to really have to tighten. So we're going to have to see how this all plays out. But look, we still have the plunge protection team. We still have the Fed in there buying mortgage-backed securities and treasuries and God knows what. And they're going to do and play every trick that they can to keep these markets propped up. But they've got a huge problem on their hands now. People are running out of money. Inflation is causing serious, serious problems in most people's lives, especially the middle class and the poor. And the money that they print is having less and less effect. The medicine is wearing off. And all they have left now is cheap money. And it's not going to fix the problem. Retailers need to stoke the Christmas spirit to hit lofty holiday sales target. This also on CNBC. Compared to 2019 and 2020, total number of shoppers and average spending dropped during the extended Thanksgiving weekend. Not a good sign. And we look at Friday, Dow Jones was down 905 points. Tuesday, I think it was down what? I can't remember. I think it was down 640, 650. Today, Wednesday, down 461 points. This is not a good start heading into Christmas shopping. First day of December. Retailers are so dependent now that people go out there and spend money, whether it's buy now, pay later, whether it's credit cards. They don't care. They need people to come out and spend. And this is not a good start. How many people now watching the news today are going to just be scared to even leave their homes? I mean, really, whether you believe in this or you don't, that's for you to decide. As you know, I don't get political on this channel. People are going to have to make up their own decision, but there are going to be a lot of people out there that are going to be scared to leave their house because of what is going on. And that's going to have another effect, a negative effect on retail shopping this year. Cyber Monday online sales dropped 1.4% from last year to 10.7 billion, falling for the first time ever. Amazing that this number wasn't worse, that sales only dropped by 1.4%. But as long as people have credit cards, as people have now these buy now, pay later services, they're going to spend. 35 million people haven't even paid off last holiday's shopping spree. PayPal saw the use of buy now, pay later options soar nearly 400% on Black Friday. CEO says, that's on CNBC, 400%. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm old school. If I cannot afford to just buy something today, I just don't buy it. I just don't buy it. I wait till I can afford to buy it. But people, again, they love that instant satisfaction. We have a society that just doesn't really have control now. They see something, they want it. They want that instant glorification, that instant satisfaction. People have lost the ability to save and to pay something cash, just pay it off. And we see that with automobiles, where people are in way over their heads buying cars that they cannot afford to drive, just barely squeaking by making the monthly payment. In the housing market, people look at these homes. They don't look at really the price of the home. They're looking, can they cut that monthly mortgage payment? That's it. And they just hope and pray and keep their fingers crossed that no emergency comes up, so that 50% of their income will go to that mortgage payment every month, as long as nothing bad happens. That's how people look at it today. They don't look at prices, they look at the monthly payment, and that is so dangerous. And that's another reason that when things do really implode economically here, so many people are going to be in trouble because they've got so many payments. And one little hiccup, one little speed bump, they're in big trouble. They're in very, very big trouble. Talking to a couple friends of mine today, everybody now is expecting interest rates to go up in 2022, and they all know what that's going to do to the housing market. And look, if you're in the market to buy real estate, I would keep my powder dry and I would hold off and see what happens in 2022. And I think you're going to be very happy that you applied a little bit of patience to your real estate purchase, because I think you're going to save some money in 2022. Here's another article today: how California solved its record ship pileup. 110 cargo ships off the coast here in Los Angeles and Long Beach. And I guess now there's not as many ships. You know why? Because they made the ships park farther out at sea so nobody could see them. So that's how we here in California solve the shipping problem. We just hide the ships. So that problem is solved. That's the good news today for everybody. Here's another one coming from CNBC. CEOs and insiders sell a record $69 billion of their stock, and the year isn't over. Let me ask you this question, ladies and gentlemen, and please comment down below. What do they know that most of us don't know? Why did so many CEOs sell a record $69 billion of their stock? Something's coming. All you got to do is connect the dots here. Something is coming, and be ready for it. Another article today from The Hedge: U.S. manufacturing slumps to weakest since 2020 as cost of inflation hits record high. How is any of this going to help the recovery of this economy? It is just more bad news, more bad news, more bad news. Where is the light at the end of the tunnel? What is the new technology that is going to turn this economy around, get people back to work? Where is it? What is going to turn all of this around? Market U.S. manufacturing was a big disappointment, tumbling to 59.1 to 58.3 in November. And when you even think about manufacturing in America, what are we even making here at this point? Another article today, also coming from CNBC, Harrison Street CEO Christopher Merrill says inflation could last for the next decade. Decade, not month, not a couple months, not a year, a decade. And this guy's probably right, because this is just the beginning. We haven't even bottomed out yet. We're probably third inning of this financial collapse, maybe fourth. We got a long way to go, and things haven't even began to spiral out of control. You're going to watch this collapse accelerate, ladies and gentlemen. I believe the acceleration will start in 2022. That's my opinion. I don't give financial advice. I'm speaking out loud, thinking out loud with all of you. Please comment down below, give me your thoughts. And remember, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it, make sure you subscribe. I just dropped a Patreon video a couple nights ago. Make sure you come over to Patreon. Link is right down below in the description box, so check that out. But comment down below in regards to this economy. Where are we at? Are we in the third inning, the fourth inning, the first inning, the ninth inning? I think we're right around the fourth inning right now. We got a long way to go, but things are going to really begin to accelerate. And that's when people are going to get very, very scared. Only a banking crisis or higher rates can stop inflation now. That was an article in the Hedge today. If you get a chance, check it out. It says, just to highlight a little bit of it here, it says we would probably need a very acute banking crisis similar to 2008, or a Fed target rate in the 8 to 10% range. And you know, it's funny, everybody says it's different this time. Nothing bad's going to happen. It's different this time. The Fed will come and save the day. The Fed's in big trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Jerome Powell now admitting that this inflation is not transitory. Now admitting that we may have some problems. Now talking about raising interest rates. It's gonna, look, they're gonna raise rates multiple times. Could you imagine what this economy would look like if we were sitting at 8 to 10%, a Fed fund rate of 8 to 10%? You know, this is where the big trouble is gonna begin, because it's gonna get very, very expensive to borrow money. And this is why you're gonna see housing crash. This is probably going to be a great time if you have cash to buy a car, to buy land, to buy a house, an RV, a boat. Lending is going to tighten up. Credit's going to tighten up. Liquidity is going to tighten up. And if you're liquid during a illiquid time like we're heading into, the sky's the limit. The world is your oyster. The central bank has big trouble. If you think that you can fix this by printing more money, you better read history, ladies and gentlemen. And another real scary thought is the more they print this money, the more they devalue it, and the more the world is beginning to realize that the US dollar is not the almighty currency. I believe gold is the almighty money. But I believe that the world is really, really losing faith in the US dollar. And when this happens, it's over. It's over. And this is why I believe, unfortunately, that China is going to back the yuan with gold, and the world is going to run to it, because they're going to realize that that's real money. It's backed by something. It's not just a piece of monopoly money. And if America doesn't do it first, and I don't even know how much gold America even has left. We haven't seen what's in Fort Knox in decades. I don't know, since the 1950s. There's been no audit of what's in Fort Knox right now. So how much gold America has, nobody really knows, but it's probably not as much as we're being told. We know China's been stockpiling massive amounts of gold. And I think at some point it's going to be whoever comes to the table with the most gold is going to rule the world. And I believe that they're going to have the world reserve currency. Whoever comes to the table with the most gold wins. He who has the gold rules the world. And I truly do believe we're heading in that direction. I hope that America gets there first and not China. But unfortunately, realistically, I believe it's going to be China. Here's another article coming from The Hedge. In low-key move, Singapore's central bank adds 24 tons to its gold reserve. And every week, it's another central bank adding not ounces, but tons of gold to their reserves. Physical gold, ladies and gentlemen. They're not adding cryptocurrencies. They're adding gold. And this is why I'm a big believer in gold. So as inflation continues to skyrocket, as the dollar gets weaker, I think you got to own some gold. Now, they raise interest rates a few times next year. I think that's going to benefit the dollar, right? But we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. We don't know what a country like China might do with its gold reserves. So I think, look, in my opinion, just me, I'm being diversified, and that's cash, and that's precious metals, and that's having my debts paid off, and that's having food and water and everything in between. So that's how I'm looking at it, because nobody knows for sure, but you gotta be holding some assets at this point. Private payrolls post better than expected growth of 543,000 in November. ADP says this is for anybody looking for good news. Here's the good news today. November added 534,000 jobs, private payroll. Tomorrow, we will get the first-time jobless claims for last week. I expect them to come in at well over 200,000. And here we go. Here's a contradiction here. So we have 534,000 private payroll jobs added in November. But in November, we were losing about 200 to 260,000 jobs per week. So roughly about 1 million jobs in November we lost with people filing first-time jobless claims. But yet but we're looking at this growth of 534,000. So it's quite a contradiction. And also, November added some extra jobs because of the holidays. People taking on extra jobs at retailers for the holiday season. Jobless claims are expected to tick up tomorrow. As I said, I think they'll probably come in around 200, over 200, probably around 240,000. That's my number. Let me know what you think. But what do you think? Why the contradiction? Every week it's 200, 240, 260, 270,000 people filing first-time jobless claims, but private payrolls post better than expected growth of 534,000 in November, ADP says. So very interesting. So I think that there's two sides to that story. Millions of Americans are scrambling to become independent of the system as it collapses all around them. This on The Hedge today, really good article. And look, take a few minutes, do your own due diligence, do your own homework, check out these articles. Now, it says, according to this article, I'm going to paraphrase this article, but if you get a chance, check it out. Now is the time to leave the system and start working for yourself. If you can get out of the system and do something on your own, if you have a skill set and you can do something on your own, there's never been a better time or more important time than to do it right now. It's time to embrace entrepreneurship. Okay? This is a great time to be an entrepreneur. Embrace entrepreneurship and do something on your own if you can. The key is to find something that will add value to the lives of others. And if you have a skill set that does that, now is really a great time to embrace it. So we're always, trying to think outside the box. What will make my life better? There's a lot of things. Reading and educating yourself about what's going on, taking better care of your body, walking closer to God, having a skill set that you can be an entrepreneur and add something that benefits people's lives. It's time to become more independent. There has never been a time where it's more important to be independent, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get out of the system. We look at energy prices soaring across the United States of America. So guess what a lot of people are doing now? They're going and buying these wood stoves. They're selling tons of wood stoves now all over the country because it's going to be a very cold winter. People saw what happened to the people in Texas last winter. They see the prices of energy soaring. So now people are thinking, going, hey, you know what? Maybe I should get one of these wood burning stoves. I could save money Fantastic idea. So, people are beginning to think. And what do they need to run wood burning stoves? They need wood. So firewood is also in demand. And it's the sales of firewood soaring. The system continues to collapse, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to get worse. So as I leave you on this beautiful Wednesday late afternoon, just really start thinking outside of the box and just think about what you can do to get out of the system. And maybe it's not a great idea to keep all your money in a bank. Maybe if you have a skill set, you can put it to work now. And if you have a job right now, maybe you can test the waters with a skill part-time, doing it in the evenings, doing it on the weekends. And if it works out, maybe you can transition to something on your own full-time. You look at what's happening on social media. You can brand yourself on social media. You can make videos. There's so much we can do now with a computer and a phone or a camera, people branding themselves and being more independent. And this allows you to get out of the system. So it's a great time to start thinking outside of the box and maybe doing something like that. But there's always something we can be doing. Again, getting in better physical shape, getting in better spiritual shape, reading more and educating ourselves more with what's happening, what's coming, and how to prepare, and picking up and maybe learning a skill right now so that you can put it to use down the road. It's just something to think about. So anyways, I'm going to close it right there today. Look, a lot is happening, and nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody's a mind reader, but I think that we're going to see some very, very incredible things happening in 2022. Keep your powder dry. I think we're going to see a lot of people wrecked in the stock market and in the housing market. So be very, very cautious if you're gambling right now. And if you're thinking about buying a home, hey, I wish everybody the best out there. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But if it's something you don't really have to do right now, maybe you should think about it. Think about the uncertainty that we're looking at in 2022. Political uncertainty, and this economic uncertainty, social uncertainty, and it's bubble after bubble after bubble after bubble. And I think making huge financial decisions with this much uncertainty and this many bubbles is it's a little dangerous. In fact, it's a lot dangerous. So, if you don't have to do something, maybe you sit back and wait it out a little bit and just kind of see, look, maybe 2022's things are going to calm down and it's going to smooth out and everything's going to be rosy. But and I know, because you live in the real world and I live in the real world, that's probably not going to happen. So get ready for some fireworks because they're coming. God bless all of you. Thanks for watching. And I will talk with all of you very, very soon.